just music down. That. Okay. So what I've done up on the Moodle, I've put up this bus stop billboard. Okay. And here it is here. Now it's a Photoshop document, and what I've done is I've actually I put a poster up in there, but I'm going to create the dance company poster into this one. Okay. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do a paste into. I think we did a paste into a few weeks ago where we've got a selection marquee. So I'm going to do that. So I'll just come back here. Here's that JPEG. I'll just open this up in Photoshop. So here it is as a flattened image. I might come back to this, okay? And I'm just going to copy it to my clipboard, okay? And so here, now I can select this shape. Now there's a few ways of doing it, okay? We could use this polygon lasso tool and click, 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 but it's not that accurate and I can't really adjust it. So remember last week we were playing around with the paths panel. So I'll create a path with the pen tool. And I'm just going to click, 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 nice and straight. But if I need to, I can come into the white arrow and I can adjust things accurately. I can zoom in and be very specific. Okay? So you've got to love your path tool. Okay, you can move it around and I can keep on doing that. So I'll save my path, I might come back to it. And now I can make a selection. So we've got a feather from last week. I'm just going to make this 0 because I want it to be hard. Okay. And so now, let's just pop that over there. Zoom out. So remember, I had copied this to the clipboard, okay? And so I'll go Edit, Paste Special, Paste Into. And so now, I can adjust things. Now, I'm actually going to play with the perspective angles on this, okay? So this is what I mean by if this isn't right, I might need to go back and move the type and reformat it, but we've got that. Whoops. Okay, so there it is. Now remember, I can always use my mask to adjust it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to distort this, and this is the angles. Okay? This is all by eye. There's no 3D involved. I'm going to make it three-dimensional. So highlight the layer, edit, transform. There is a perspective, but that's not going to help me. Distort will. And so what that does is it enables me to come in and play around with the angle. So that's now stretched. So that's not looking too good. I just need to adjust it. But you can see that I can start playing with the perspective lines. And so this is where we start needing to think about how do we create the illusion of something on the ground or on a wall. Okay, we've got to play with perspective. Okay, and so we do that. Okay, and so that's now in this. So I can move it inside that, of course. Okay, use my arrow key and adjust it. Again, this flexibility of the paste into, it's using that masking again. So it's giving me a little bit of work. Now that's why I said, think about the image and what it's going to be used for. So this might become a bit awkward. I might need to choose a taller image. If I'm using, so this one would be very tricky because it's a square format, and if it's going into a tall mobile phone display, I'm going to be chopping pieces off. So you really need to find the right, so that's probably, these ones are probably a bit better to suit a mobile phone display. So we can always come back and work on it, but it's much easier to work with images that are the right scale and proportion before we begin and know what we're going to use them for. Okay, if this was going to be used on a billboard which was landscape, then it wouldn't be very good because it's a tall image. If I need it to be wide, then I need to have a wider landscape format image. So always think about what you're going to use it for. Okay, and there we go. Okay, some pretty good image. This quite interesting. All right, so that's where we're heading. So we've got a little bit of time before the break. So have a bit of a play with that. Save as. And so Sydney Dance Company, name your layers, name your file. Okay, one, I might come back and create another one. Okay, always give yourself flexibility. But by having this open, I can move things around, move the type. Okay, remember I did this last week? I've got two layers and I want to move the blur. So I might link those layers together. And now they are all together. Okay, so that's a nice way of doing things. And so let's say there I'm playing with, just by moving that in, it might be a bit more helpful for me. Okay. Very good. Actually, I'll do one more thing. Let's just say that's what we want. File, export as, export. This is the name of the poster. This will be number 2. Okay. And so with that, what I might do, whoops, move that in. that. Let's get that image here. Drag that in. Okay. And then, okay, I might move, I'm going to duplicate this mask. I could actually just drag this mask up to this new layer and scale it. Or if I hold my Option key down, I can drag that mask, this new one, and now I can come in and play with it. Okay. Edit, transform, distort. Just play with our angles a bit more. Okay. There we go.